As Earl said, thank you all for coming today. Just in case you don't know who's in the room, because some of you recognize each other and some of you do not, we have most of our board members are here. We have our task force is here, our staff is here, and our design and construction committee is here. So if you look around the room, these four groups have made this happen. It has brought us to where we are today. So thank you all for all that you have done. Thank you. And I just want, as a reminder, want to let you know that when we were going through the international design competition, the design brief was sent to all the teams that were qualified. And so in that design brief, they were given very strict instructions on what was important to us. And part of what was important to us was the survey results. And in those survey results were the 6 words that were defined. So when we as a jury were going through the presentation day, we had kept in mind all the elements of the design brief, all the impact and input from this community. And just as we did then, we are doing it today, which is today your voices need to be heard as well. You have pads and paper in front of you, and I ask you to please write your comments down. If you would like to share your comments, you can share them. If you'd like just to share them with us privately, you can leave them in the box. If you have questions, write them down. We'll collect them, and we'll go through them at the end. So again, thank you all for coming today, and let me introduce to you our design team. We have Thomas Koldefi, we have Zoltan Nivel, Julia Kapp, and Mike Chatham. So I will turn it over to them.
Well, good morning, everyone. Very happy to be here and to be back. As you know, we're coming from France. I cannot hide it from my accent. You may hear it. It's a true honor to be here with a part of our team, the design team, because it's only a small part of the team. We have Zoltan, Julia, and Mike. And the entire team has been working with a lot of passion on this beautiful and meaningful project that I would like to introduce to you today and to guide you through the design process and the way we have approached it. Of course, we were blessed and touched at the very first reading of the design brief and the words that you can find on this board that were given as a source of inspiration, and we had to find an interpretation of these words. Also because, as you know, our team coming from France felt also part of the community on a larger aspect, but also because France has suffered from different tragedies in the past. So we thought immediately that it would be an opportunity for us as architects and urban designers to take part and try to participate in this effort. When we approached this project, our very first idea was how can we reclaim a place from terror and darkness and create a new reality and bring people together in peace and love. That would be really the very first intention that we all had. And today we're gonna walk you through our vision for this project that is really today a starting process. What we're gonna show is the work we have produced to win this international competition, and that we will continue to develop with you and with your participation, your feedback, so that we can make this all together. I'd like to start also to share a small video introducing our team back in France that we made before we met with Barbara and the team. They asked us to introduce ourselves because they couldn't come to visit our office to interview us. So we made a homemade video to present our team, and I think it would be nice for you to see, to get a little bit of a taste of where we come from, our background, and who we are. So let's watch it. Hello, I'm Thomas Koldefi.
And I'm Isabel, and together we run Koldefi Architects in Lille.
We are a family business.
We founded our office in 2006. We chose to locate our office here in this building, which is our first building we designed in Lille. It's a mixed-use building It was actually the first building in this new district of the city of Lille.
And we wanted our studio to be somehow in constant connection with the city, also because in 15 years as our team has grown internationally. So this studio that we will show you around is for us some kind of open, transparent and in relationship to its evolving environment. Please come on in.
The whole team is located here in this big workspace, which is open and very voluminous because we think it's important to have a lot of light, a lot of space. Exchange and collaboration is important for us. We have a lot of nationalities and cultures in the office, and it's good for them to mingle and exchange ideas.
Our studio has a garden, as you can see, because it's really important for us to find moments where we breathe. Our studio atmosphere reflects also our architecture and our projects, and often we like to merge architecture and landscape together. When we approach a project, we don't really know where we're gonna go. That's what we like, actually. We try to start, investigate, ask questions, and look at the impact of the environment, analysis of the city where we are located. And we really believe that the experience of spaces and places is not only coming from the architect, it's really coming from debate, exchange. So actually that's exactly the way we want to work, and we work actually for the Pulse project. We have gathered around us a team of experts, of people coming from different fields.
So let's show you how we do that in Paris for Pulse.
So I'm Pierre, I am from Duxeno. We are the scenographer in the project.
Hello, my name is Xavier Veillant and I'm an artist based in Paris.
Hello, my name is Ana Colmenero. I'm from Spain. I work at Agence Terre.
Hello, we are RDI team, and we are very happy and proud to participate as a member of a more global team on that fantastic project.
All kind of fields, when they come together with us, this is really something we enjoy actually, and that's something we couldn't do differently because that's who we are. And we never forget where we are from. We are a French studio. We are a French studio with a diversity of individuals, and that really helps us to nourish our creativity.
My name is Zoltan. I grew up in Los Angeles. I'm Hungarian American. Here at Kodofi, I'm the Director of Design and International Projects.
Hi, my name is Jerica and I come from Slovenia. I'm working as an architect on the Pulse competition.
Hello, my name is Jamin. I'm from South Korea.
Hello, my name is Naomi. I grew up in Brazil.
What has it been like to work in the office in one word? Dynamic.
Inspiring.
Fresh.
Love.
Diversity.
For each subject or for each project we work on, we just want to give the best of ourselves, make good architecture, and have fun also, have pleasure in creating this project and creating all our projects.
And stay simple.
Yeah.
We will not let hate win.
Sovraštvu ne bomo pustili zmagati.
Não vamos deixar o ódio ganhar.
No dejaremos que el odio nos gane.
Nie pozwolimy, żeby nienawiść zwyciężyła.
En ik wil haat niet laten winnen.
저희는 증오가 이기게 놔두지 않을 것입니다.
مش رح نخلي الكره يربح.
Et je ne veux pas laisser la haine gagner. Thank you very much. So you guys are all invited also to visit us to check if this is. So now the next part is also one of the milestones of today is to be part of this project and this fantastic collective adventure we are aware of is that we are all gonna do this project together. It is a project that will be working with the different communities, with the One Pulse Foundation, and we are just a member of this big group in order to promote and advocate and push this project to become a reality and a project that is so meaningful that everybody feels really proud of it. So this is just a starting point of this process, and we are aware of that today. Now, to come back on the design approach of this project, this is our design presentation that we'd like to introduce to you. We, of course, have looked at this very particular project because it has a scale with different elements, but also a scale of a urban project, so this is very important. And the way we approach it is that we consider the Sodo district and the different pieces of memorial and museum and survival work that were given as a design to propose. We took this as a one single unified project starting from the Pulse. That was really the origin. Why? Because for us it was the place where it all started. It was the generator of a movement, a vibration which should resonate through the entire city and even further to a wider aspect. Then we like to also to perceive the museum. We called it the receiver. For us, a museum should be the place where we capture the waves of the pulse and transmit them to the public. That was our interpretation. And then we have survivor walk and Kelly streets that are public spaces for people to hang around. And we'd like to become this place to make it a place where we'll diffuse and connect people along the way, almost like a urban laboratory where people connect and try to exchange ideas and define new moments of life. So in order to put that into a design approach, we use three themes that you can find in all aspects of the project. The first one is water. Water, we use it as a media, but also because water for us was, from the very beginning, the source of life, and it also connects symbolically to the presence of water in Orlando, but also to the fountain of the club, so it has a very strong meaning for our design. Then we have greenery. It seems obvious. Why greenery? Because from water grows greenery, and for us it should weave the circulations of the new Sodo district. It should create connections with the existing city fabric, and it should nourish the different parts of the project. And the third theme, equally important, is colors that we proposed in our scheme. We developed this scheme with international French artist Xavier Veillant, a palette of 49 colors. It goes for us beyond this idea of the 6 colors of the rainbow flag. It should naturally commemorate the victims and create an identity for the project and the whole district. So the whole meaning of also the project is that it should bring a new life in the Sodo district, where nature and water should reconnect, irrigate with the existing natural elements in Orlando, such as the existing lakes, pocket parks, and so on. Then, as you can see on the small icons along Orange Avenue, colorful artistic interventions should make people interact, feel connected to the identity of the district, and give a human scale also to this place at a different scale. It shall be also the support of a new sustainable base so that the district can grow in the future on a strong basis, and that we start to think about reducing the heat island effect in this big mineral metropolis that we all live in today. Then another meaning of also the design is to propose a new canvas, a new start for in terms of mobility, a better connected Sodo, introducing new modes of mobility with bike lanes, pedestrian paths, and a new shuttle that should connect the Sodo district, the high-speed rail station, and the downtown to form a future loop that is all weaving and interconnecting in a smoother way as it is today. Also, for us, this should be the base of future development to come. We know that this Sodo development will grow and become a new vibrant district to develop. So we like it to become a healthy and sustainable place of living, a vibrant district that we will bring through culture and exchange of ideas. for future business and residents to interact in a human environment. So we really think the future of the Sodo can be successful if we provide the space for people with plaza, green spaces, and what makes a city welcoming and nice to live in. Julia?
I have to hold that?
You have to hold it.
Okay. So I'm just working out what is better with my glasses or not. It all started with the pulse. The memorial site is the origin, the source, and also the future. It gives off a pulsation resonating out into the city. The nightclub is the starting point. We asked ourselves, what should the memorial look like? How can we create a place for families to reflect, to remember? How to provide the necessary distance and respect towards pain? How can we create joy and enable it to coexist with grief, allowing us to see again, to nourish our minds with spirituality, hope, and infinity? It is important to protect the club and create a sanctuary. We immediately thought of creating a ring of water which would sanctuarize the club and create a distance. This ring of water is also a new source of life. The club itself will be repaired and sheathed in a protective mineral covering. Pulse will be cared for. With the artist Xavier Veillon, we created 49 colours to commemorate the 49 angels, and which line the ring of water and radiate from the heart of the site through the project and then retransmit themselves into the city. While respecting the pain of Pulse, we wanted to reopen the club to the daylight again in order to let it breathe and connect to the sky. Around Pulse, a garden is created, an experience of the senses, a place of life. With this sculpted undulating landscape, 49 trees are planted, bringing beauty and serenity. And this beautiful garden becomes a new safe place for everyone to re-find each other, to love, and to celebrate again. For those who knew Pulse, for those who now know Pulse, and for those who come just for the beauty and learn what Pulse has to teach. A sheltering canopy embracing the site gives protection from the sun and the rain. We can see here the overall layout of the site. We enter from West Cayley Street, and there is a building, there's a building here which has the gift shops, restrooms and services. And then there is what we call the Wall of Memories, where people can leave messages, tributes. It's as there is now at the Pulse site. At the centre of the site, between the club and the Wall of Memories, there is an amphitheatre. Pulse is at the heart of the site, the sacred place, sanctuarized by the 49 colours. The canopy embraces the club and the amphitheatre, and there is a beautiful garden with the 49 trees running over the site. Entering here from West Cayley Street, you come into a lush garden where you can make your own journey or follow the promenade under the canopy. A quiet walk through this serene and beautiful garden, planted with the 49 trees in honour of the angels, a place of life and nature where personal comfort and freedom is core. We call the garden a pulsating garden because the undulations symbolically represent the impact of the tragedy. It awakens your senses, looking, touching, listening, smelling, or you can simply take shelter and rest and sit. You will find your own moment. It is a free space. The ring of water sanctuarizing the club remembers the names of the 49 angels. The name of each angel is cast in letters and laid in a ring encircling the club, the heart of the memorial. They are forever connected together. The 49 colours in ceramic tiles are united within the water pond of the memorial. They meld together and draw a big, abstract and joyful picture. The nightclub is the most intimate and spiritual place. Pulse is the physical memory, the point of departure. We have proposed to open up the club, removing a section of the building which will be archived in the museum. And thus, we create a passage, a path, inviting you on an intimate journey, a physical, silent, contemplative experience of respect. The path crossing the passage is slightly raised above ground level to create a distance. The flanking walls of the passage are lined in soft, honed granite stone and do not allow views into the interior. Musical vibrations are softly present through the touch of a hand. The walls are sculpted to represent elements which were previously located in the club. Interior partitions, furniture, objects, the bar. This opening looking to the sky will allow nature, light, and air into Pulse, bringing peace and calm, allowing it to breathe again and for us to have consciousness. We walk out into the amphitheatre, a generous gathering place naturally formed by the topography of the landscape in front of the club. It is dedicated to families and visitors to meet, to share, coming together again to celebrate. This is the new safe place for contemplation, celebration, or eventually where we can dance again. It is important to continue the rituals existing today. And this is the Memories Wall, which I discussed before, which is accessible from Cayley Street and from West Esther Street and gives on to the garden. It will continue to be a source of archives for the museum. It is made of exterior-grade cork and is designed to offer services to pin letters, drawings, tributes, and it has many niches and recesses where you can leave objects. It is a place of sharing, a place of expression.
So from the Memorial Garden, which is the heart of the project, the urban part really distinguishes itself with two major connectors. One is the West Cayley Street that connects us from the memorial to the museum, to the west on the top of the screen. And the other is the Survivors Walk, which leads us north from the memorial up towards the city, towards downtown. Both of these new urban connections are distinguished with this identity that's created with the three unifying threads from the original concept: water, nature, greenery, and color. Besides leading us along the journey in the city, it also symbolizes the outpouring of energy and life from the memorial at the heart of the project. Walking north along the west side of Orange Avenue towards downtown, we will be on the Survivors Walk. The Survivors Walk creates a new planted line of diverse trees, bushes, flora, and fauna that gives us an enriching sensation within this space, as well as much needed shade. The colors lead us along the way, the 49 colors that emanate out from the heart of the site, finding themselves in colored pieces along the floor, as well as colorful totems that punctuate the space. We also anticipate to provide public seating, furniture that gives us opportunity to pause, rest, and reflect at various points along the way. These totems, colorful sculptures, we call them interactive sculptures, are a way to give a unique, diverse human-scale interaction along this path. These different sculptures can either transmit or receive messages or testimony, project different art such as light or music or vibrations, or also could serve as just basic simple information points or just fantastic sculptures. These will be an opportunity to have a multitude of diverse experiences at a human scale along the entire way of the Survivors Walk. Looking west from the memorial site towards the museum, we have West Cayley Street, which becomes really a central axis of the project and of Soto District. Be defined primarily by an enlarged walking space and a continuous canopy of trees. By creating this new access as really a green spine in the district, it allows us to create a more comfortable environment. The shade and the water provided will allow us to have more cooler spaces that are good for visitors, but also for those who live and work in the community, so they can start to spend more time in the public space. Looking west along West Cayley Street, we have this long green corridor with new trees, new planting, and of course here we refine the same themes: water, color, and greenery. The color will be located on the floor and will act as a natural wayfinder, densifying as we arrive towards the memorial site and symbolizing the experience to come. We want this really to be a sustainable project and take advantage and respond appropriately to the climate. And so we can do our best effort to direct as much natural water into the planting areas and the porous paving to keep these plants green and to reduce the impact on the city's infrastructure below.
Thank you. So now let's talk a little bit about how we envision the museum of Pulse. For us, the museum is connected to the memorial, as you can see on this early diagram, naturally through the green elements. It is conceived as an extension of the memorial, almost like if it was a positive impact or rebound of the impact of the memorial. It is conceived in one fluid movement where the visitor can be drawn naturally towards the museum. It should also for us represent a true landmark for the Soto district, looking up at the sky. It should symbolize the energy of hope, courage, and strength. In order to define our design approach, also we created a metaphor, a symbol of rebirth. It should be directly inspired by the form of a white flower growing up in the sky. It evokes for us a feeling of life and should be as poetic, as light, and as abstract as possible, so that everybody can feel connected to this idea. In terms of urban integration, our very first intention is also to activate streetscape for the visitors, but also for the future Soto district, to create a place to go, a new rendezvous for Soto, to create a urban lounge with cafes and gift shops that we may have in the museum. So that's why we pushed back the project in order to allow that space to become also a community place, and also to define the museum as a vertical signal that really is becoming the star of the district. The museum is also conceived as an extension of the public space of West Cayley Street, where you can see the plaza for us should be also an extension, is extended vertically with ramps and stairs, becoming a urban belvedere when we go up around the museum, so that when we go up and we arrive at the top of the museum, we can look back at the memorial and also over the district. It is a place of sharing. To make sure that those generous public spaces and plaza are really also usable with the local climate, the museum, we propose to wrap it with a veil that is made of white louver stretching towards the sky. It's giving both a unique identity made of a poetic soft form stretching higher to increase visibility, but it can also be the support for communication through lighting and digital systems, and it will also act as a light filters or sun filter, I would say, to protect from the high heat and the high sun provision into the interior spaces. So on this artistic pictures that we proposed, the Pulse Museum for us should stand proud as a new gateway landmark. It should become largely visible from the I-4. It should be an entry gate to the memorial site.
Our first approach to the museum with Doug Seno, the exhibition designer, was to question what the museum was for. What kind of museum should it be? A museum is a place to collect, to preserve, to interpret, and to display items for education. The core of the museum, the Tower of Memories, will display the artifacts and testimonies collected from Pulse. It symbolically forms the memory of Pulse. This Tower of Memories, which is in the centre, is a spatial and conceptual core, the heart of the museum. All the activities are organised around it. The visitor will experience a vertical journey coming from the public spaces at the lower level into the exhibition galleries and finally accessing the rooftop and looking up into the sky and out over the city. The central element of the public space is the agora. It is, I always get this wrong, agora. I'm not French, I'm Australian, sorry about that. Yes, fake French. It is where visitors are welcomed. The auditorium adjacent can be used in multiple configurations, typically for conferences and lectures, or totally opened up and extended towards the lobby and agora for special events. The agora is a place of gathering, to exchange, to debate, to meet other people and share opinions and feelings. At the centre of the agora, the void of the Tower of Memories looks up towards the sky, inviting the visitor to look up and see the silhouettes of the exhibits, the artefacts, the testimonies, the memory of Pulse. Balconies come out and offer the opportunity for the visitor when they're moving up to experience the void in another way. The Tower of Memories collects and displays. The rest of the museum and its exhibition spaces are built around it. Memory, remembering, is the core goal, the base around which the museum is built. The memory of Pulse occupies the permanent exhibition space. We have proposed a system with structure, but it is simple, modular, and flexible enough for the museum team and the community to take ownership and imagine their own exhibitions and their own forms of expression. A major feature of the exhibition next to the Tower of Memories will be the extracted passage from the Pulse nightclub. It becomes a support to tell the story. The 10,000 now artefacts and the ones to come are displayed in the continuous structure of the Tower of Memories. Various tributes, drawings, pictures, objects, poems, messages, and also traces of the tragedy. But whilst remembering very specific victims and facts, the Pulse Museum also addresses universal questions. The Pulse Museum is a place to remember, a place to exchange, a place to live, a place for education for all, with all of our differences. The museum is a place of expression for visitors, communities, families, and schools. We thought of hosting a radio station, which would of course play music, but which could also retransmit lectures and conferences. The cultural program of the museum has specifically been left open, and it is now that it needs to be created, inviting artists, experts, curators, the community, who will invest in the temporary exhibition spaces, with their individual or collective projects.
Also, as you can see in the entire project approach, we want to extend that very strong feeling of what the Pulse nightclub was, and in terms of bringing people together, creating a place to share and to enjoy moments with friends or any people you like to spend some time with. So we also created everywhere different community places, such as on the rooftop of the museum. We created a roof garden, which should be also another gathering space looking above the city. As you can see, the shape is also an extension of this approach of this blooming flower. So that's why this is really opening up to the sky. Should be a place to breathe, but we can come either directly from your visit in the museum after you visit, or directly from the outdoor access that we provided around the shape of the museum. We would like to conceive this place that in a way that all exterior spaces or every surfaces can be a place for community with independent access from the exterior, so that people from Sodo or anywhere can also appropriate this space, which is an extension of a public space and a place that is shared by many communities. The last level of the parking can, for example, be provided as an outdoor event space to gather and celebrate. Car access and large surface can accommodate festivals, markets, or even sport events for the district. We also think this can be a place for day and nights where the museum, also vertical void that we presented, the void inside this Tower of Memory, is also an opportunity to create a light show, to stand proud and mark the district as a urban lantern from very far away. That's something we would like to extend and to propose further. It is for us a place to gather. We feel the museum will be a place for expression, a place invested by the community. It is not just a museum. I think should be much more than that, a generous space. It is a place to grow, punctuated by voids, as you can see on those images. It is a place both for humans and nature to grow together and elevate yourself, but also create new relationships between each other. It is also a place of hope, a central place full of hope, and that we envision like a living organism which should generate new values, new human values. And in the end, what we aim and we would like to do is that the museum should stand tall and proud, showing for Orlando, for the county, for Florida, and even to the nations that we all stand united together against hate. And as long as values continue to be generated in this place, we feel the heart will continue to beat, to pulsate, so that we will not let hate win.
As you can tell from my accent, I am not a part of the French design team.
It's an adoption.
Yes, they've adopted me, and I'm a part of the local partner of the team. And I have the pleasure of going through a presentation that was prepared by Marty Hudson with the City of Orlando that has to do with projects that are happening around the Pulse project. As you can see from our presentation, the memorial, the museum, and the Survivors Walk are all conceived as an integral component of the Orlando Sodo community. We're looking at this dynamic, growing, and evolving neighborhood not as it is today, but as it will be in the future, or as it can be. The Sodo District vision is for a dense, healthy, vibrant, creative, diverse, and sustainable neighborhood. We talked in the presentation about the connectivity of this project and the neighborhood and the city. This slide shows some of the current transportation and pedestrian improvement projects that are underway in the district. And we'll talk about those individually. One project that's currently almost completed is the south section of Orange Avenue, which extends from Pine Lock to Grant Street. And this project includes upgrades to the landscaping, the pedestrian walkways, community identity signs, and has really started the process. As you can see, the crosswalk, this was the rendering of it at Michigan and Orange, really starts to talk about the identity of the SoDo neighborhood. And through our work with the city, we will be influencing the design of the next phase of this project, which will be phase 2 of Orange Avenue improvements. We've already had several meetings and are working closely to integrate the work we're doing with the work that the city's doing. And in a lot of cases, they've made changes to accommodate the plans that we have. There's also plans for a extension of the urban bike trail, which happens along Division Avenue, and will be critical to connectivity in this area. The bike trail will include improved pedestrian walkways, bicycle trails, seating areas, new landscaping, public art, and district signage to invigorate this neighborhood. Down to the details of shade shelters and crosswalks, and with the intention of creating connectivity and a safe way for people to move around the SoDo district. There are also planned east-west connections that will occur. Those are on Columbia Street, Cayley Street, and Grant Street. Fortunately, Cayley Street is our main connector from the memorial to the museum, and we will be working closely to coordinate our planned improvements with the city's improvements in that area. In addition, there are plans for the O-Line Linear Park, which occurs along the Sunrail right-of-way. This park will include open space. This is going to be planned as a very dense area with, and we'll go over a multitude of projects that will be occurring in this area. This will provide open space for residents, people coming to and leaving the district, and it will provide connectivity to the Pulse project as well. This is a list of projects that are currently underway or planned for the district. And I think the important thing to notice is that these projects include growth of the health center, residential projects to support the growth of this area, restaurants, shopping, retail, breweries, all the things that you need for a vibrant community to grow. And these are things that are already planned, and there are a lot more projected. Through zoning changes and other actions, we're going to encourage this area to grow into a very vibrant community. These are a couple of projects that are currently planned by Orlando Health and are really jump-starting the growth in this district. And I think one of the keys is this really is a connections to the Sunrail, connections to the city, the location make this a prime location, and are really driving this growth. And Pulse is a big part of this growth. This couldn't happen at this synergy and collaboration with the city and all the other partners in the area is very important, and it's fantastic that this project could be a key driver in this growth in the area. So with that, we have all the questions, and I think we've gone through those, so we'll start to address those individually as we move forward.
Thank you. And now I will just show you a small movie summarizing our approach.